Nature has created some of the most terrifying predators to ever walk, swim, or fly. The T-Rex, the king of the dinosaurs. The great white shark, an oceanic nightmare. The bald eagle, a symbol of raw power. And then there was this guy. Meet Helicoprion, a prehistoric shark with a circular saw for a mouth. A design so stupid, scientists have spent over a century just trying to figure out how it even worked. Did it roll its teeth forward like a living blender? Or did it just face smash its prey into submission? We may never know. But what we do know is that it's not here anymore. Because having big teeth and a scary name isn't enough. If you're bad at hunting, bad at adapting, or just really unlucky, nature will delete you. So today, we're going to look at why some predators are dominant, while others fail so badly they get erased from history. Before we start, why not click that naughty little subscribe button? I don't want to go extinct, but I'm also not a predator. Anyway, before we laugh at history's worst hunters, what actually makes a predator good at being a predator? Why do some species dominate, while others just don't? Turns out all great predators follow a simple checklist. Speed, stealth, firepower, intelligence, and the most important one, adaptability. Rule number 1, if your food runs, you'd better be faster. Or at least fast enough to keep up. Cheetahs, these guys are lightning fast. They can run at 70 miles per hour. That's peak athleticism. Lions, they're not as fast, but they make up for it with their teamwork. But if you're a predator and you're slow, oof. Now, sloths aren't technically predators, but you can imagine if they were. Like, imagine asking a sloth what its hunting strategy is. Oh, I just slowly reach out and hope my prey forgets I'm here. Yeah, that's not a strategy. That's called not eating. The bottom line is, if your prey can leave you in the dust, you're probably getting left hungry. But speed isn't everything. Why waste energy sprinting when you can just not be seen? The best predators are invisible until it's too late. Big cats like tigers, camouflaged. Crocodiles, ambush specialists. Owls, they're silent as a ghost. And then there's your pet cat, who thinks it's a lion, but can't even catch a sock. Stealth is what separates the efficient killers from the hope for the best crowd. And if you can't run or hide, well, you better have a good bite. Teeth, claws, venom, crushing force, these are nature's weapons of mass destruction. Sharks have serrated teeth that slice through flesh like a saw. Crocodiles have one of the strongest bite forces of any living animal. Once they clamp down, they don't let go. Some snakes can inject venom so toxic that it liquefies organs. Yes, entire organs. Now imagine having none of these. No sharp claws, no venom, no bite force. What do you do then? Oh, you eat leaves and wait for humans to feel bad for you. Okay, got it. The smartest predators don't rely just on brute force. They think. Wolves hunt in packs, coordinating attacks like a military squad. Orcas literally teach their young advanced hunting techniques. And crows? They'll use tools to get their food. They're basically feathery little masterminds. But if you're out here charging headfirst at prey with zero plan, you're about as effective as a door-to-door salesman trying to sell ice in Antarctica. Adaptability, this is a big one. The stay alive button. If you can adapt, you win evolution. If you can't, well, bye. Take crocodiles for example. These guys have been around for 200 million years. That means they survived the dinosaurs, multiple mass extinctions, and the rise of humanity. Meanwhile, super specialised predators like the sabre-toothed cat, extinct. Why? Because they were built for one job, killing big ice age mammals. And when those disappear, so did they. So if you can't evolve, you just don't last. It's as simple as that. Alright, now that we know what makes a predator good, let's talk about the ones that were not. Because nature, in all of its brilliance, has also given us some generational stinkers. Predators that, for one reason or another, failed so badly that evolution straight up pressed Ctrl-Alt-Delete. First up, we have predators that were too good at their job, and then got sacked off. As I previously mentioned, the iconic saber-toothed cat, built like a bulldozer with knives for teeth. These guys were the ultimate Ice Age big game hunters, taking down massive prey like mammoths and bison, and those huge fangs, perfect for sinking into thick hides, but also stupidly fragile. See, Smilodon wasn't great at hunting anything smaller than a prehistoric tank. And when the Ice Age ended and all the big prey died out, guess what? The saber-tooths were left sitting there like a Formula 1 driver trying to compete in a tricycle race. They were just too specialised, and nature doesn't do severance packages. Meanwhile, today's tigers, they'll eat anything, deer, wild boar, even garbage if they have to. That's why they're still here. Now, let's talk about one of the coolest yet most embarrassing predator flops, the terror birds. These things were like ostriches on steroids, giant, flightless, and could kick you into another dimension. For millions of years, they ruled South America, munching on anything they could catch. They were fast, they were brutal, and then mammals showed up and said, "Hey, cool ecosystem you've got here. Mind if we take over completely?" And the terror birds, they just couldn't compete. See, mammals could outthink them. They were smaller, more adaptable, better at endurance hunting. And in the grand game of evolution, being smarter beats being scary. The closest thing we have left to terror birds is this guy, the cassowary, which to be fair can disembowel you if you get too close, but it's hardly the scariest thing in the zoo. Next we have predators that should have been great, but were just designed badly, like a truth detector in Parliament. We come back to the Helicoprion, the prehistoric shark, with a tooth whorl. Yeah, that's not an error, that's actually what it's called, tooth whorl. Instead of normal teeth, it had a spiral of teeth jammed into its lower jaw, like some Lovecraftian nightmare. We still don't know exactly how it worked. Did it roll forward like a conveyor belt? Did it just slam prey with its jaw and hope for the best? It must have done something right, surviving for 20 million years in the Permian. It's a great example of having a niche skill set, but not adapting with the times. Like owning a DVD player. I can watch stuff on fridges now, who needs DVDs? Now meet Andrewsarchus, a giant land predator that lived about 45 million years ago. This thing had the biggest carnivorous land mammal skull ever found. You think that would make it the ultimate predator, right? Well, no. Because despite having the head of a nightmare beast, it might have actually been a scavenger. Its blunt, bone-crushing teeth were better suited for cracking bones and shells, rather than slicing flesh. Imagine being that big and that intimidating, and still just picking at leftovers like a prehistoric seagull. And of course, sometimes a predator is doing everything right. It's fast, it's deadly, adaptable, but just gets unlucky. At any time an asteroid could show up randomly. And now, you're a museum exhibit. T-Rex, gone. Raptors, gone. Nearly every apex predator deleted. And not because they were bad, but because, well, a flaming rock the size of Mount Everest isn't something you can really prepare for. Then there's the Ice Age predators. Smilodon, short-faced bears, direwolves. They were dominant in their frozen world. But with climate change, their prey disappeared and they couldn't keep up. Meanwhile, smaller predators like wolves, they just said, cool, I'll eat anything and just follow humans around. And that's why wolves survived and became dogs. And saber-toothed cats became fossils. Sometimes a predator is just doomed for failure. The thylacine, or the Tasmanian tiger, was a predator that never stood a chance. It looked like a weird, stretched out dog with tiger stripes. But despite being a so-called apex predator, it was slow, had a weak bite, and got completely outcompeted by dingoes, which were faster, smarter, and better hunters. Already struggling, the thylacine got hunted to extinction when farmers blamed it for livestock losses, placing bounties on its head. By 1936, the last known thylacine, Benjamin, died alone in a zoo. Ironically, just months before the government decided to protect the species. Bit late, Australia. Scientists today are trying to bring them back with DNA, but knowing its luck, it'd probably go extinct again immediately. Thylacine wasn't just a failed predator, it was an evolutionary tragedy. A species that got deleted by both nature and human stupidity. So what about today's predators? Could any of these guys be the next future flops? There are a couple of suspects. Technically, pandas are carnivores. Their digestive system is designed for meat, but instead of hunting, they choose to only eat bamboo, which has almost no nutrients. To make things worse, pandas are notoriously bad at breeding, which is kind of important if you want to survive. If humans weren't obsessed with how cute they are, they'd already be extinct. In the wild, their habitat is shrinking, their diet is fragile, and their survival strategy is, hope the zookeepers still care. Without human intervention, pandas would just fail. They'd disappear in record time. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals, but that's about all they've got going for them. Their gene pool is so inbred that scientists compared them to a population of clones. They're prone to disease, infertility, and birth defects. They also suck at defending their kills. Lions, hyenas, even vultures can steal their food. On top of that, habitat loss is shrinking their numbers fast. Evolution has backed them into a corner. They're amazing at sprinting, but terrible at long-term survival. If their environment changes just a little, cheetahs could go extinct faster than they can run. You might think of an orca and think it's the perfect ocean predator. They're smart, social, and can take down anything from sharks to whales. But even apex predators can't beat climate change and food shortages. Overfishing is wiping out their prey, pollution is poisoning their waters, and some populations are struggling to find enough food. Certain orca pods are already in population decline, with their birth rates dropping. Unlike adaptable animals like wolves, orcas are highly specialised hunters, and if their food vanishes, they don't have a backup plan. Could they fail? Maybe not now, but in a collapsing ocean ecosystem, even orcas aren't safe. Blame us. History shows us that apex predators don't stay at the top for long. So what's going to happen to us? Are we going to break historical trends? Or is there something just waiting to take us out?